Well, so don't go anywhere. But now, today is World Parkinson's Day. In the UK, Parkinson's numbers are increasing, with diagnoses set to double over the next 20 years.
Well, Alexander Reid is director and founder of the European Parkinson Therapy Centres, one of the leading centres in the world, and has Parkinson's himself. He was diagnosed 16 years ago, and he joins us now. I'm very pleased to say. Alexander, it's good to see you this morning. What is worrying in our introduction is that the cases of Parkinson's are expected to increase dramatically over the next few years. Do we know why that is?
There are a lot of factors involved, and unfortunately, probably the main factor is stress is a very high level risk factor, and stress is growing more and more in our part of the world, the western part of the world. And there are other factors, inherent hereditary factors, pollution, but I would say stress is a major factor which is causing Parkinson's. And Parkinson's, in reality, it's a man-made disease. It doesn't exist without the fact that we made it exist.
I was really interesting looking at your notes saying the condition shouldn't be treated as a disability or even an illness, but simply a difficulty that needs to be managed. Why so?
If I got up in the morning thinking I had a neurodegenerative acute disease, which there was no cure for, after 208 years, there's still no cure, I don't think I get out of bed in the morning. I think everybody has a neurodegenerative condition, and that's called aging. And they still get out of bed in the morning. So why can't we?
Yeah, well, no.
If you treat yourself as a victim, you'll become a victim. If you treat yourself as being seriously ill, you'll be seriously ill. I prefer to treat myself as a normal person who needs help. Yes, I need help. So I can manage my condition and I can live my life to the full. And I do that.
I mean, it's an incredibly positive attitude. And as you say, I think that can often help with quality of life, can't it, if you have a positive attitude. But how did life change for you when you got that diagnosis 16 years ago?
It's rather like an atomic bomb going off in your life. I was a business consultant. I was traveling the world and doing very nicely, thank you. Then some horrible neurologist said, "Oh, you've got Parkinson's." That wasn't good news, and it blew my life apart. But because I was a business consultant, I decided to set up a no-profit here in Italy, European Parkinson Therapy Centre, which is totally different from any other centre in the world. Our centre is designed to help people live with Parkinson's.
Rather than trying to sort of tackle it in one sense, which I think is, which is really interesting, isn't it? Because I know there's a lot of campaigning around trying to treat and cure Parkinson's, and you look at people like Michael J. Fox, who's been very prominent in that. It is, I mean, obviously that's a long-term, it's a long-term prospect, all that sort of work. It is fascinating that you really wanted to focus on helping people in the here and now.
Yeah, there is a lot of work. Simon Stott from Cure Parkinson's, who's a good friend of ours and a very great scientist, he said that 80% of the research on Parkinson's has been done in the last 20 years, and yet we're still nowhere near a cure. Nowhere near. There's not even a medicine that will slow down or reverse Parkinson's after 208 years. So that's a pretty dead-end street as far as we're concerned, although we do help with research and we work with the pharmaceutical companies. But we're not hopeful because Parkinson is a very complex condition. It's a series of conditions, actually. And what we discovered, and what I think a lot of people are discovering through our centre and through many other centres, is that you can live with Parkinson if you follow certain guidelines. You've got to exercise every day, you've got to have a positive attitude, you've got to have the right lifestyle, you've got to eat the right food. There's many things, but the result is you can have a very, very good quality of life, even after 16 years.
It's a really positive message and a great message. I'm sure people will appreciate if they're living with or affected by Parkinson's. Alexander Reid, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.